Hi, this is Paul Kreutz, and welcome to Halloween DIY and How To. In this edition, I am going to show you how to create this versatile animated pumpkin head. This fog spewing motorized prop can be used in many of your Halloween haunts, including as the finishing touch to a creepy scarecrow. How is it done? Well, I'm going to show you how, so let's get started. Here are some of the items that you will need to build this prop. To supply the mechanical animation, you will need this unique oscillating fan. What makes it so unique is that its 8-inch sphere not only moves from side to side, but also up and down. When these two movements are combined, it creates this lifelike movement. I was able to find this fan on sale at a big box store for just under $25. Now, when not on sale, they're pretty expensive, so shop around before buying one. Additionally, because of their cost, I have designed this prop so that everything can be cleanly stripped away, leaving it completely usable as a fan when not being used as a Halloween prop. You will also need a carvable craft pumpkin. Here are two brands of these foam craft pumpkins that I found work well. Since the fan needs to fit inside the faux pumpkin, look for ones that are at least 10 inches by 10 inches. The ones that I am using have an outside dimension of approximately 10 inches wide and 12 inches tall. You will need a 3-hold ski mask. I found this one online, sold in multi-packs of 2 or 3 and reasonably priced. Make sure that it is a black, knitted, stretchable, one-size-fits-all, full face and neck style that measures around 8 inches wide and 14 inches tall. A fog hose adapter kit, along with a fog machine, preferably one with a remote timer so that you can control both burst durations and intervals of fog production. A compass used for drawing circles and arcs, 1/2-inch glue dots, the removable type, black construction or duct tape, household white glue, a carving tool to carve your craft pumpkin, a 1 1/4 inch by 7-inch wall tube. It is a PVC plastic tube that is part of a bathroom sink drain assembly. Make sure that you purchase the 1 1/4 inch diameter size and not the 1 1/2 inch diameter size. A corresponding sink tailpiece washer that will easily slide over the wall pipe. A short piece of foam pipe insulation made for a 1-inch diameter pipe. You will need a length about 3 to 4 inches. Make sure that the outside diameter of the foam pipe insulation is at least 2 inches in diameter. Flat black spray paint specifically made for plastic. Since the ski mask does not cover the base of the fan, you will need some additional material to help hide it. Make sure that the material that you use is appropriate in color and type for your application. To embellish your craft pumpkin, paints of your choice. I'll be using a variety of fluorescent blacklight paints. And to finish the look of your animated pumpkin head, you may want to use some artificial leaves and tendrils. If you will be using this prop as the head for a scarecrow, you will need to build a holder for the fan. For that, you will need a 7-inch diameter plywood round, at least 1/2 inch thick. Additionally, you will need 1 double garment hook and 2 single garment hooks. Now to assemble the prop. As I previously mentioned, I have designed this prop to not alter the fan in any way, so to temporarily change its color to black, since usually the white-colored fans are the ones on sale, we will be covering the globe and neck portion of the fan with the black knitted ski mask. First, before you slip the ski mask over the fan, notice the rectangular indented area on the back of the fan. This area with the open grid for air intake will come in handy in just a bit. Slip the ski mask over the fan so that the eye holes line up with the center front of the fan and that the mouth hole comes down to the bottom portion of the fan's gray grid. With the mask in this correct position on the fan, Locate by feel that rectangular indented area on the back of it. Using a scissors, cut a small slit in both layers of the ski mask right in the center of this location. Remove the mask from the fan. The slit should be just big enough for your fingertips to go through, like this. Next, have the washer placed over the straight section of the 7-inch tube and pushed all the way to the curved, flared end of the tube. Then, working from inside the mask out, gently push the straight end of the tube through the slit as you carefully open it up. Pull the tube all the way through until it stops at the washer. From the inside, place just enough of the household glue around the raw, cut ends of the yarn at the washer's location. This will help to ensure that the knitted mask will not unravel in this area. Don't overglue since you don't want any of the glue getting onto the fan's outer surface. Place the mask back over the fan in the same position as before. After positioning the tube downward, add a bit more of the glue onto the outside ends of the yarn. When done, you should have a flexible connection of the tube to the ski mask at the indented intake area located at the back of the fan. This flexible connection will allow the fan to still oscillate freely in all directions even when the fog tube is connected. To ensure that the ski mask will not slip or move from its proper position on the fan, use the removable glue dots at several key locations on the fan surface, and then press the ski mask onto the glue dots. To help the fan disappear from view once inside the craft pumpkin, make sure that only the gray grid section of the fan shows and none of the solid white surface does. Once the glue has dried, mask off the exposed fan base and spray paint the plumbing tube with a couple of light coats of the flat black spray paint. While the paint dries, let's turn our attention to the craft pumpkin. To place the fan inside the pumpkin, we will need to cut a large hole in the back and another hole at its bottom to accommodate the pedestal and movement of the fan. To do this, first choose the best side of the pumpkin for its face. As a reference, place a piece of painter's tape on that side and right in the middle of the future face. Directly on the opposite side, place a pencil mark and then a cross mark to indicate the halfway mark for the height of the pumpkin. Do the same on the bottom of the pumpkin. I find that finding the seam helps with the first mark and then add a cross mark at the very center of the pumpkin's bottom. The circle on the pumpkin's bottom needs to be 4 1/2 inches in diameter, so set the compass at half that, at 2 1/4 inches. Find the bottom mark and draw a circle using the compass. This will accommodate the fan's pedestal that holds the globe. Next, draw a 8 1/2 inch diameter circle with the compass, setting the compass at 4 1/4 inches. Draw the circle at the center back mark of the pumpkin, directly opposite from the face side, like this. Using the center mark of the large hole, make 2 marks 2 1/4 inches on either side of that center mark, then draw 2 parallel lines from the outside diameter of the smaller circle straight up to those 2 marks. This section, once removed, will allow for the up and down movement of the fan. Using a carving tool of your choice, carefully cut out this entire section. As much as possible, hold your carving tool at an angle that will back cut the interior pulp of the pumpkin. Remove this cutout section. Cut back any of the now exposed pulp of the craft pumpkin so that you will have a full 8 1/2 inches in the clear. Thoroughly clean the inside of the pumpkin from any foam residue by using a damp cloth. Check and see that the fan with ski mask in place can fit into the pumpkin. It will be a tight fit. However, if it is too difficult to place the fan inside the pumpkin, cut the hole slightly larger. Once the fan can fit inside the pumpkin, you will notice that the pumpkin fits very loosely over the globe of the fan. That will be addressed shortly. For now, carefully remove the fan from inside the pumpkin. Cut out the pumpkin face on the side directly opposite from the side with the 8 1/2 inch hole. I found that drawing the face first with a pastel-colored pencil is helpful, especially since the pastel pencil marks are easy to remove. Keep in mind that the ski mask holes for the mouth and eyes do not have to line up with the mouth and eyes of your pumpkin face. Cut out your pumpkin face. Once you have done this, you can leave the pumpkin as is or embellish and highlight it with paint. I will be using a black light to partially light this prop, so I will be using fluorescent paint to bring out some of its features. Once the paint has dried, properly position the fan by turning it on until the masked globe is facing fully forward and down. Turn off the fan. Carefully slip the carved pumpkin back over the fan, making sure that the neck portion of the ski mask is pulled down to hide the fan's pedestal. To hold the pumpkin firmly in place, we will be using a short piece of the pipe insulation. While holding the pumpkin up against the bottom of the globe of the fan, and with the pedestal of the fan pushed up against the front edge of the smaller hole, measure the approximate distance of the inside space between the top of the pumpkin, right under the stem, down to the top of the fan. Add an additional 1/2 inch to that measurement and cut a piece of the foam pipe insulation to that length. Since the pumpkin is so lightweight, the foam piece is used to create a compression fitting to hold it in place. To do this, compress the foam piece lengthwise and place it upright just under the stem of the pumpkin and directly on top of the fan. If the fit is too tight to do this, cut down the foam pipe insulation until you get just the right fit. This may take several tries until it holds the pumpkin firmly in place. Turn on the fan to the lowest fan speed, and with both motions activated, the pumpkin head and fan should move as one. To hide the remaining portion of the fan's base, use a small length of material appropriate in color and type for your application around the fan's base. This will allow you to easily access the fan's controls if you will not be using the remote control. As you can see, all of the add-ons used to create this prop can be stripped away, leaving you with a completely untouched fan to be used in the off-season. But for now, we need it as a Halloween prop. If you will be using this as the head of your Halloween scarecrow, you will need to build and attach the custom fan holder to the top of the scarecrow frame. For my scarecrow frame, I used a standard 2x4 around 6 feet in length. An easy way to hold it upright is to use a Christmas tree stand. The cross piece for the arms is approximately 4 feet and attached nearly at the top of the 2x4. The very top of the 2x4 is cut at a 30-degree angle, which will position the pumpkin head at the correct angle to not be looking up too high or down too far. Assemble the custom holder for the fan's base by taking the 7-inch diameter plywood round and marking its center with a pencil. Draw both a horizontal and vertical line through the center so that you have 4 equally drawn sections. On both ends of the horizontal line, draw a line 5/8 of an inch from the plywood's edge. Do the same at the bottom of the vertical line. This is where you will position the screw holes of the garment hooks. Screw the single garment hooks at this position on the ends of the horizontal line, and the double garment hook at the bottom of the vertical line. Pre-drill 2 holes on the horizontal line, 1 inch in either direction from the center. Use these holes to attach the holder to the top of the angle-cut 2x4 by using short 2-inch deck or wood screws. Once the holder is in place, slide the fan's base in from the top of the holder. And since the top of the fan's base moves with the fan, no portion of the garment hooks should be touching the top of the base, allowing the fan to freely move side to side. You are now ready to finish dressing your scarecrow or simply place your animated pumpkin head on a flat surface, such as a hay bale. Hide the fan's base by loosely covering it with an appropriate piece of material. After attaching the adapter and extension tube to your fog machine, which is placed near the pumpkin head and hidden from view, cut the other end of the tube at a length where it will not only reach the plumbing tube on the back of the pumpkin, but also has enough length to accommodate the fan's motion. Assure proper fit of the fog tube inside the plumbing tube by first wrapping a strip of the construction tape around the end of the fog tube. Add or remove layers of the tape until the fog tube fits easily into the plumbing tube, but also snug enough to have a tight fit that stays put. The only thing left to do is to turn everything on, set the controls of the fog machine, and turn off the lights. Thank you to all of my viewers and subscribers. Please have a fun, spooky, and happy Halloween.